Yeah, good morning, everyone. So today is the last day of our web development training session, and today we are going to discuss about Bootstrap, PHP, MySQL, and also we'll see how to do the database connectivity. So moving ahead. Okay, so what exactly Bootstrap is? So Bootstrap, it is just a front-end framework. Front-end means it is HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework. Now your Bootstrap, it is basically used for making responsive mobile-first application. Okay, now your Bootstrap, it is having many built-in classes, and with the help of those classes you will be able to create those applications, means responsive applications. Now what is the meaning of responsive means your website your content of your website should be fit on each and every device. Okay, whether you are visiting any website with the help of your laptop or your computer or your mobile, your content should be fit on each and every device. This is the meaning of what responsive. So with the help of Bootstrap you can do that. Now your Bootstrap, it has so many classes, and with the help of those classes you can design your responsive web pages. Now whenever you will use Bootstrap, so before using Bootstrap classes you have to download it. You can easily download your Bootstrap from the internet. Then after downloading it, you have to link your Bootstrap file with the web page where you are going to use those Bootstrap classes. Now one more thing here, when you will use Bootstrap, you have to add one meta tag in the head section. Okay, for the responsiveness you have to add one meta tag, and here as you can see, this one meta name is equal to viewport, content is equal to width is equal to device width, and initial scale is equal to 1. So with the help of this only your content is properly fitted on every device. Okay, so this tag is just mandatory in each and wherever you will use your Bootstrap classes for making of website. This meta tag is important to write in the head section. Now let's see how to download first Bootstrap and then how you can include it in your file. So here I have given the link, so you can easily type on your browser Bootstrap download, so you'll be getting the link of that. So here getbootstrap.com, just click on that. Okay, so from this website you can easily download Bootstrap. And what you have to do here, this is just very much easy. See, can you see this download button? You just have to click download here, and now if you click on this download button, then the latest version of Bootstrap is going to be downloaded. Okay, the latest version of Bootstrap is Bootstrap 5, so that is going to be downloaded. But if you want some previous version, then again there is an option. You will see this all releases. If you click here, you'll get all the previous version as well. So according to your choice you can download any Bootstrap. So here if I'll click on this download button, so what is going to happen, the current version of Bootstrap will get downloaded. Now then here just click on download here, and see here my Bootstrap zip file is getting downloaded. Okay, Bootstrap zip file. Now see, in my system I have already downloaded that. Here Bootstrap file, you'll get what? You will get the RAR file. You have to extract it. When you will extract your RAR file, you will get multiple file in it, but 2 files are very much mandatory, means only 2 files are required, and those files are, see, this is what I have extracted. And here if you'll extract, now you will get multiple files, but you don't require all those files. You require only 2 files. One is your CSS and other one is your JS. That's it. So here your CSS, as you can see, bootstrap.min.css. This file is mandatory, and the second one is this JavaScript, which is in JS folder, bootstrap.min.js. Only these 2 files are required. And now in order to use the Bootstrap, you have to link both the file, CSS file and JavaScript file, in your program. Okay, so as I told you in previous session also, while downloading jQuery, that it is not mandatory that you have to download jQuery from the internet. You can also use the CDN, correct, content from content delivery network. That is what CDN is. From there also you can get the link of jQuery and you can use that, link. But if you use CDN link, at that time internet connectivity is required, whereas if you will download jQuery, at that time if you don't have internet connectivity, then to your jQuery code is going to run. Now similarly in case of Bootstrap also, if you want to run your Bootstrap without internet, at that time this is the best option to download Bootstrap in your code, Bootstrap in your file. Okay, but you can also use Bootstrap link, means the CSS and JavaScript link you can also get from the CDN. But if you will use the link from CDN, at that time again, just like your jQuery, your internet connectivity is mandatory. Why? Because you are getting the link from the internet. Okay, then in order to use the classes of Bootstrap or jQuery, internet connectivity should be there. So these two files, one is CSS and one is JavaScript, you have to include, and one more file, your your jQuery. These three files are mandatory: your JavaScript, CSS, and jQuery, which we have already downloaded. Okay, we have already downloaded our jQuery file. So these three files are mandatory in order to use our Bootstrap. So how you are going to access this? See, as you can see here, main.css, that CSS file, min.js, that JavaScript file, and jQuery file. All the files should be included before using Bootstrap, and all the files should be included in the head section. Okay, you have to include all the file in the head section, and after adding all the file, you will be able to use all the Bootstrap classes. Now, how you are going to access? As you can see in this program here, in the head tag, see, three files are added. One is what your CSS file, other one is what your JavaScript file, and third one is what your jQuery file. Always remember all the JavaScript files and jQuery files. As jQuery is not a language, jQuery is a library of JavaScript. So all the things which is related to your JavaScript and jQuery should be written inside script tag. Whether you are writing code for JavaScript or uh, whether you are linking any JavaScript or jQuery file with your web page, you have to write those link inside script tag only. So here, as you can see, your JavaScript file and your jQuery file, both is written inside script tag, and then your CSS file will be inside link tag. Okay, and the important point is this, your meta tag. In order to get the responsiveness, in order to see the proper responsiveness, you have to add this meta tag in the head section. So you have to remember this four thing. One is your meta tag, and then three, your CSS file, and then your JavaScript file, and your jQuery file. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, see here I'm saving this code. In this, I'm just writing boot.html. Okay. Now see, what I did here, once you save your file, you need not to write all the HTML tag, body tag, like manually. What you can do, you just need to type here HTML and just press tab. That's it. You will get the structure of your structure of your this HTML. And then again, before this, you have to add the doc type declaration. As I said, doc type is not doc type is what? That is not a tag. Okay, so that is why it is not coming here. So you have to include the doc type declaration here. Here, doc type HTML. Okay, now inside this title, you can give any title. Here, I give Bootstrap. Now, in this head section, first what you have to do, first you are going to add the meta tag. So here, meta view is equal to viewport, then content is equal to device width, and then initial, yeah, initial scale is this initial scale is the zoom level. Okay, now viewport means what? The user's area, the user's visible area. This initial scale means what? The by default zoom level. And that the content is equal to width is equal to device width means the content should get fitted according to the device width in which you are viewing your website, in which you are seeing the website basically. Okay, now after this, first you are going to add your css file, means Bootstrap css file which you have downloaded. So css file should be inside link tag, link, then rel means relation, just write down here, style sheet, and now then href means hyper reference, and now you are going to give this link of this css file. Just open it, click Control Shift and right click, Control Shift right click, and click on copy as path. Means you will get the actual exact location of this css file. Just click copy as path, go there and select and write it down. That's it. Here you have added your css file. Now next is your JavaScript file. So as I said, JavaScript file should be inside script tag. So here just write down script source in src. What you're going to do, the path of your JavaScript file. So here is your JavaScript file. Again, click, right click, click on copy as path and paste it here. Close this angular bracket. Your JavaScript file is done. Now the third one is what? Your Jquery. Again, Jquery is what? It's a library of JavaScript. So it should be inside script tag only. That its link should be inside script. So script src. And where is the JavaScript? In last lecture only we have downloaded a Jquery. Okay. See here. Here is your Jquery. So again, take its link, copy as path, and paste it here. You have to close the script tag. See, after opening script tag, you have to close it as well. Yeah, done. Now we are ready to use our Bootstrap classes. So first, what we did, we added meta tag. Then here is our CSS file. Here JavaScript file, and here is our Jquery file. All these three files need to be included before using JavaScript. Now moving ahead, let's see few Bootstrap classes. So first one is Bootstrap Container. As the name suggests, container means something which is going to contain something, means someone who is going to store something. So here in Bootstrap, there are two container classes which is used to wrap up your content. Okay, contain in the sense your HTML element, your HTML tags basically. Now these two classes are, the first one is container fluid class and the second one is container class. Now there is a difference between both the classes. As you can see, your .container fluid class, it occupies the whole width of your browser. Okay, it is going to occupy the whole width of your device basically. If you are running this code in your mobile, then according to your mobile width, this container class is going to occupy the space. If you are running this particular file in your system, in your laptop, so at that time your container fluid class is going to occupy the space according to your system width. Okay, according to your system device width. And then next one is your only container, that is container class. Now what your container class did do, it basically it takes fixed space. It leaves some space at right side and also it leaves some space from left and right from both the end, and it fits exactly in the center. Okay, you need not to set any margin, padding or anything for this, as it is what these are what your Bootstrap predefined classes. So their size, margin, padding, everything is fixed. Now in order to use these container classes, what you have to do, you just have to write down its name. That's it. Okay, here as you can see in this output, the first one is what? Your container fluid class. Now it is occupying the whole width of your device, and whereas this second one is what? Your container class. As you can see, it is just leaving some space from left side and also some space from right side, and this space will be of fixed. Okay, equal spaces it is going to avoid. And this container is going to be fixed in the center of your device. Now how you're going to use this, let's see that. See, as we have used as we have already included all the files, so we now we are able to use all the Bootstrap files. Inside body tag, just open one div tag and close your div tag here. Inside div tag, first we are going to use that dot container fluid class, and then we will see that container class and its difference. So here just write down class is equal to container and if you run this code, let's see what happens. Okay, here you're not getting any output. Why? Because your container, this container fluid class is occupying the space, but it is not visible. Why? Because in order to see how much space it is occupying, you have to set some border. Then only you will be able to see like what exactly it is doing. So here inside this div, just give a border to it to see like what exactly your container fluid class is doing. So here just write down style is equal to, and then here border, you can give the width of your border. Okay, let's take 2px, then the style of border. Okay, here we are taking solid, and then just take black. Okay. Can you see this border? Okay, just increase its width. Okay, height. Okay, see, this is what your dot container class, this is what your container fluid class, it is going to occupy the whole width. What we have set, we have just set its height, we haven't set its width, but it is taking the whole width of your device. This is how, this is the use of your container fluid class. If you want in any web page, suppose you want to set some header, okay, at that time you can use this container fluid class because it is occupying the whole width of your device. Okay, and the next one is, and if you want to display something in this particular container, then you can also do that. What you can do in between this div, just write down here, this is like whatever message you want to display, this is container fluid class, and just close your h1 tag. And you can also write one, okay, just write on one paragraph tag also, and paragraph. Okay, see, here by default your h1 and paragraph is going to display all its content at left side, but using the attribute align, you can set all the content in the left, right, as well as in the center. Okay, so let's set them in at the center. So here h1, what you have to use, what you have to write, just write down align, which is an attribute, and give the value center, so that this value, this is a container fluid class, should display in the center. And then next align is equal to, also keep this in the center. Now see, okay, it is getting displayed. Now if I write one more thing here, okay, I'm copying the whole thing in the same div. Okay, but this thing I want to display in the next class. So here your container fluid class, what it is going to do, it is going to occupy your whole width. This is what we saw just now. We are going to use the next class. For that we are going to use a one next div. Okay, in that we are going to display these things. So now here again just open one div tag. Now class is equal to, now we are going to use the container class. So here container, that's it, container, and close your div tag here. And now put all this heading and paragraph inside this, change this. Okay, for that we need to give it a style. Style is equal to, here I'm giving it a red color. Now can you see where your container class is displaying? in the center, in the middle, and its width is going to remain constant. The width of your container fluid and the width of your container class, it is going to remain constant. And also it is going to change according to the device. Okay, so this is what your container and container fluid and container class is. Now, as per your website requirement, as per your design, you can use these classes. If you want to display something just like in the center, at that time you can put all your content in this container class, and you need not to set any margin padding, because everything is setted, everything is predefined. What you have to do, you just have to use that name class, that class name, container and container fluid, everything is set. Okay, so this is what your container and container fluid. Just like these classes, there are few more classes. Okay, now next is what your Bootstrap greets. What it does, Bootstrap greet system, it allows up to 12 columns across the page. Okay, if you want to set any menu, okay, you must have seen in the web pages, file, edit, like a file, contact us, home, gallery, these things, correct? And all the things is displayed in a sequence, and it takes a fixed amount of space, all your menu. So now you can do that with the help of this grading system. Now it grading system, what it does, what you have written, it has written your Bootstrap grid system, it allows up to 12 columns. With the help of this grid system, you can set 12 columns of fixed space at the top of your web page. Now there are two classes to set this. One is row class and another one is what, your column class, COL and ROW. With the help of these classes, row and column class, you can design such structure. As you can see, the first one, as you can see here, multiple columns are there. This is your first column, second column, third, fourth, and so on. So how it has happened? With the help of row and column class. This is what your whole row. Okay, this is what your a single row. Now inside single row, multiple columns are there. Multiple columns are there. Now in each and every column, you can give different content. You can style each and every column differently. You can set background color, whatever you want to do. You can set different icons in it. Okay, and then second one, as you can see, there are total 3 columns. In a single row, 3 columns are there. Then as you can see, in the third one, 2 columns are there. Then in the fourth one, again 2 columns, but its size is changed. And then last one, there is only one single row with single column. So you can set all these things with the help of row and col. And you need not to set anything. You need not to worry about its width, height. Everything is going to change according to device to device. Okay, now how you are going to use this? See. Okay, let's write here. Here, div. First, you are going to set a row, and within the row, you can define multiple columns. So first here, you are going to use the row class. So here, div class is equal to row. Okay, and then you have to end your div tag here. Now within this div tag, you can define as many as columns you want. If you want 3 columns, then inside this div, you have to use 3 times column class. If you want 5 columns, then you have to write column class 5 times. This is totally up to you how much column you want. Okay, and then here, now we are going to use the column. So here div class is equal to col. This is what your first column. Close your div tag over there. Your first column is done. Moving to the second column, just write down div class is equal to, again the same column class you're going to use. Okay, and then again close your div tag here. If you want one more column class, you are going to use the same thing. You need not to make any kind of changes. Now we are going to write something to see what exactly happening here. Here I'm writing home. Okay, here what I write home. Okay, here is gallery, and then here contact us. And now let's see how it shows. Okay, Can you see now? Can you see the spacing? This is what your home, this is what your gallery, and this is your contact is. Now what happened here? See, your grid system, basically your that class row and column. With the help of that, you can set up to 12 columns, up to 12 columns. But how many columns you have set? Only 3 columns. So what it is happening? Each column is taking the space of 4 column. In order to set it properly, your each column is taking the space of your 4 column. That is why you are saying that much space. But if you write more columns here, okay, let's try. Just copy the whole thing and paste it over there only. Now, how many columns are there? Now there are total 6 columns are there. Now see, home, gallery, contact us, home, gallery, contact us. Now, if you want to set a fine border around them, if you want to give different color to each and every icon, you can give that. How? Using the CSS. With the help of CSS, you can do that. So what you have to write here, see. Now, first we are going to give a border around the whole content, means around the whole row. So as I want to set the border behind the row, so I have to make changes into this row in row class. So just write down style is equal to, first give it a border. Border, okay, 3px. You can take any style, like take dash now and then blue. Okay, can you see that blue line? Means this is what? A row. In that row, how many columns you have used? You have used total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Now, let's give a different style to everyone. Now see, what I want in this case, I want to give border to each and every column. I want to give border to this home, then this gallery, then this contact us, home, gallery, contact us, to everyone. I want to give a different border, different border, or I want to just set a border. So what I have to do in this case, now see, all the columns are sharing the same, all the column are basically sharing the same class name, that is col, C-O-L. So if I use here internal CSS, if I'll make any changes into the column class, then that particular change is going to affect all your this column, correct? Because all are sharing the same name, that is why. So instead of giving style, instead of writing this inline CSS, what you can do, the best way is just do internal CSS. So inside this head section, how to do this internal CSS? Start your style tag here, close here. Now, to whom you want to give style? To this column class. How to access a class? With the help of dot. So just write down dot col column, and then whatever style you want. So first we are going to set its border. So here border 2px solid. Okay, let's take red. So now all the classes whose name is column will be having a border of 2px and in red color. So now total 6 column classes are there. Now all the 6 columns will be having red color border around them. Now see, can you see this? Home, gallery, contact us. Now they are having a border. If you want to set a background color behind them, so here only you have to write down background color. Okay, let's take pink. Okay, it got pink. Now if you want to change its font color, then for font color, the attribute is what? The property is what? It is color. So here, okay, let's write blue. So now all the font will turn blue. See, if you want to change this font size, then you can use the font size property. Now, as you can see, by default, all the content is getting displayed at left side. So again, there is a property of CSS, that is text align. With the help of that text align, you can set the alignment of your text. So here, text align. Okay, let's write it center. Okay, here it is center. So in this way, you can set the menu, and this is very much easy. Correct? Here, what you did, you just wrote a row class, and inside row जितना भी आपको column चाहिए था, you wrote that much time column class, that's it. And then आपको जैसा भी डिजाइन चाहिए था, आपने यहाँ पे जो स्टाइलिंग था वो यहाँ पे सेट किया है. And now one more thing, if you want to change its this border radius of every column, then also you can set the border radius. What you can do, you can also set the border radius. How? Just write down here. Okay. Border radius. Now see, it's a border. It gets changed. So this is what your grid system is. It is going to give you a fixed width of column. And for that, you just have to use row and column class. Okay, now, so these are what you can say, the equal width column. Now, as you can see, each and every column is having equal width. Now, suppose you want this first row to occupy the space of two columns. What you want? Suppose you want the first column, that home, to occupy the space of two columns. So you can do that also. How? For that, you just have to write down the number of row, basically, number of columns basically. That much you want. So how you are going to do that? In that also, see? Yeah. Here, what you're going to do? Just after the column class, just give one dash and just write down the number of column you want to merge with. If you want your home to occupy the column, or if you want your home to take the space of 3 columns, then you just have to write column col-3. If you want someone to occupy the space of 2 columns, just write down col-2. That's it. So let's see how it works now. Here, in this column, you are going to make changes. Suppose you want your home to take more space basically. So here I am writing col-2. Now my home is going to take the space of 2 columns. Means the unequal width is going to happen here. Okay. But what happened here? Already it was taking the column of 2, because here total 6 were there. Now 1, 2, 3, 6 were there, and we can make up to 12 columns. So here each and every column is already taking the space of 2. That is why there is not much difference. So let's give let's give 4. Okay. Now can you see your home? It is taking much space. But why the background color and everything got removed? Because now here you have changed the class. All the 5 are having col class, same class, but only the first one is having col-4 class. And here you are giving style to only column class. That's it. And here this is not a column class. This is col-4. Now, if you want to give the same style to this home tag, now say this is a different tag. This is a different class. So within this only you can write like this. Style is equal to border 2px. Let's get a black color. Okay. Now see, now it is black. And now you have to set all these things, background color and everything to it. Okay, let's write down. Here it is black, background color, everything is set. Now, okay, see. So this is how your grading system basic. Now suppose you also want your contact us to take more space. Then again, simple call dash the number of column you want to merge with, you can write down like that. Just the way you did for home. Okay, so this is how your Bootstrap actually works, and this is very much easy. Okay, now if you'll see here, I am changing its size. See, can you see? It is going to adjust itself according to the device. As you can see here, can you see the size? But it is adjusting itself. That means it is very much responsive. Okay. It is adjusting itself with the according to the device width. Okay, so this is why, that is why we mostly prefer Bootstrap to make responsive web pages, because it is having lots of classes, and with the help of that you can create responsive designs, and you need not to have and you need not to write much code for that as we did. Okay, then next is, then next is here, okay, we are going to discuss, this is the last class basically, and there are lots of classes available, and you can you can also make a carousel, that is image slider. You can make that, you can create there is a lot of button classes. With the help of that classes you can define different buttons with no css and javascript. बिना किसी css का यूज करके, सिर्फ क्लास का नाम यूज करके आप डिफरेंट बटन्स क्रिएट कर सकते हो. तो वैसे सिर्फ क्लासेस बहुत सारे अवेलेबल है, आपको सिर्फ वो क्लासेस यूज करने हैं, दैट्स इट. So just like that, there is one more for bootstrap images. Now there are two bootstrap image class. The first one is rounded class, and the second one is rounded circle. Okay, these are the two classes. Now what your rounded class do? It adds rounded corners to an image. If you are embedding an image into your web page, and if you use rounded class over there, then your rounded class is going to change its it is going to give it a corner at all the four ends. And the rounded circle, it is going to change the shape of your image. Your image is going to be displayed in the circle form with the help of these classes, rounded circle and rounded class. So what you have to do here, see, just embed an image here first. So here img src, okay, let's take bg.jpg. Okay, see, this is what your image. Now there is no corner around them, because by default if you embed any image, then without using css you cannot you cannot change the radius, you cannot give a rounded corners without using that border radius property. So here we are going to use first which class? Rounded class. Okay, so here class is equal to rounded. This is what your bootstrap class, rounded class. Now just see how you are going to see the slighter change. So just see it very carefully here. Here I see, refresh. Now as you can see, the corners here, this, all the four corners are going to be changed with the help of this, with the help of your rounded class. All the four corners are going to be curved. So this is the use of your rounded class. Now, just like your rounded class, there is one more, rounded circle. So in that, just write down rounded circle. Save your code, refresh it. Now see. Now can you see? Now the shape of your image got changed. Now it is in a circle form. How it happened? With the help of rounded circle. Now here we haven't written any kind of CSS or something. Just the Bootstrap is having all the Bootstrap classes is having already all the CSS code, and all the codes are written in it. You just have to use that particular class in order to give different style. Okay, so yeah, so this is how your Bootstrap classes actually works. Now there are many classes. As I said, for button you have different classes. Also you can design menu. Okay, like that home gallery wala part, that too you can design. For that also there is a class. With the help of that class you can set the different menus with no CSS and JavaScript, just by writing its class. Okay, so this is what your Bootstrap is. So this is how you actually use Bootstrap, just by writing its class name. And you can also change the things by adding your own CSS and JavaScript in it, just we did for that row class and container fluid and container class. Okay, then now we are going to start with our PHP. So the full form of PHP is what? Earlier the full form of PHP was personal homepage. Now PHP, the full form of PHP is hypertext preprocessor. It is a it is a recursive full form, hypertext preprocessor. Okay, now what exactly your PHP is? So PHP, it is basically a server side programming language. Your JavaScript, it was what? Your client side programming language, and PHP is what? It's a server side programming language which is used to create dynamic website. Okay, which is used to create dynamic website. Now the extension of your PHP is what? It is .php, and you can write this PHP code inside HTML as well. Means you can embed your PHP code inside HTML. But you have, if you are embedding your PHP, okay, inside HTML, at that time you have to save your code with .php extension. Okay, if your file contains PHP code, then it is mandatory to save your code with .php extension. Now, how to install? Now, how to install basically PHP? Now, see, if you want to run basically PHP code, then PHP should be installed in your system. Now, in order to install the PHP, you need to install AMP. AMP. What is AMP? A stands for Apache, means Apache server. M stands for MySQL, and P stands for PHP. Means if you will install AMP, then along with AMP, you will get Apache, you will get MySQL, means the database, and you'll get PHP. Now, now this AMP, it is basically what? A software stack which consists of Apache server, MySQL, and PHP. Now this AMP is available for all the different operating system. For different operating system, different AMP software is there. For Windows, if you want to install AMP for Windows, then you have to install WAMP, W-A-M-P, where W stands for Windows, A stands for Apache, M stands for MySQL, P stands for PHP. So WAMP is only going to work for your Windows operating system. Then next is your LAMP, L-A-M-P, where L stands for Linux. Means this LAMP is going to work for Linux operating system, where L is Linux, A is your Apache, M is MySQL, P is PHP. For Mac, the AMP is what? MAMP, M-A-M-P, where M is what? The Mac operating system. Then next is SAMP. S stands for the Solaris, your Unix operating system basically. Then next is your XAMPP. Now this is a cross-platform software. Cross-platform in the sense, if you install AMP in your system, means if you install XAMPP, X-A-M-P, then here XAMPP means what? Your X here indicates the cross platform. So here if you install XAMPP in your system, okay, whether you are having Windows operating system or Linux or any operating system, your XAMPP is compatible with all of them, with all the operating system. Okay, but if you are using Windows operating system, then you cannot install LAMP or MAMP or SAMP, because these are what? For different operating systems. So better to install WAMP. But the best option will be if you install XAMPP, then you can, whether you are using any operating system, this XAMPP is going to be compatible with all of them. Okay, so now next let's discuss its syntax and everything, what exactly PHP contains, how to run its code and all. So generally a PHP file contains HTML tag and some PHP scripting code. And see, it is not mandatory that every time you have to write down your PHP code inside HTML. You can also write your standalone PHP file. Standalone in the sense with no HTML code, only your PHP code will be there. So you can also create your standalone PHP file. It is not mandatory that every time you're going to embed your PHP code inside HTML. Okay, now in PHP, we use echo, E-C-H-O, to display something on the browser. If you want to display anything with the help of PHP, then we are going to use this echo. Now this echo can be used without parenthesis and with parenthesis. If you use without parenthesis, then to your echo is going to work, and if you use parenthesis, then to your echo is going to use it is going to work. And after writing, as it is a programming language, so after writing each PHP statement, you are going to terminate it with the help of semicolon. Okay, with the help of the semicolon, you are going to terminate your statements. Okay, and this echo, it is used for what? Printing purpose. Then now, your all the PHP code should be written inside this. This is how you start your PHP tag, angular bracket, question mark, and PHP. And this is how you terminate your PHP code, question mark and the angular bracket. So this is the starting of your PHP tag, and this is how you terminate your PHP tag. Now all the PHP code should be written in between them. Okay, inside opening and closing of your PHP script. Now here is the PHP syntax, as you can see. First your doc type declaration, then your HTML, then here body. Now inside body tag, you have, if you are embedding your PHP inside HTML, then inside body tag, you are going to write your PHP. Inside body, just start your PHP tag, close your PHP tag. Now in between that opening and closing PHP tag, your this PHP code will come. Okay, and this is very much easy. This, see, now yeah. So now we are going to write our first PHP program. As I said, with the help of echo statement, you can display whatever you want to display on the screen. Now, if you want to use echo, then parenthesis is not mandatory, but at the end, you have to terminate your code with the help of semicolon. Now, in my system, I have installed WAMP. Okay, WAMP, W stands for what? Windows. As I'm using Windows operating system, so I have installed WAMP in my system. You can easily install WAMP or any operating system. It is just free of cost. You can download it easily from the internet. Okay, so first I'm writing one code for this PHP, and then we'll see how to run and where to run this code. So here, first what you're going to do. First, you have to include your doc type declaration. So here, doc type. And then next is what? Your HTML. If you want to set title, okay, let's take title as well. So here inside head, title, PHP, close your title tag, close your head tag, open your body tag, close your body, and close HTML. Now within this body tag, you are going to write what? The HTML program. Okay. You are going to write what? Your HTML program. Sorry, your PHP code. Now PHP code should be written inside that PHP tag. So first you have to start your PHP tag. So here, angular bracket, question mark, PHP. This is how you start PHP tag, question mark and angular bracket. This is how you terminate your PHP code. Now whatever you want, like whatever PHP code is there, all the things should be written inside this opening and closing bracket only. So here I just want to display, let's take a simple message, hello world, with the help of PHP. Now in order to display, here I'll have to use that echo statement. So how I use it? Just write down echo. Now it is totally up to you whether you want to use parenthesis or not. So here I'm not using. As hello world is a string, as hello world is a string, so all the string should be enclosed within the double quote. So here echo, inside double quote, whatever you want to display, you can write. So just here write down hello world, done. Now, where to save this code? You cannot save this code like anywhere. Just we have saved that HTML code and we are running it on browser. You cannot save your PHP file anywhere. As I have installed PHP, as I have installed WAMP, so your this PHP file should be saved inside WAMP folder. How you're going to save this? See, just click on save as, and just remember this, if you won't follow this step, you're not able to run your code. Inside where I have, first you have to check where is your WAMP folder. So inside this C drive, See here, WAMP 64, as you can see. Just click here. Now inside WAMP folder, as you can see here, www. Inside www folder, you have to save your code. Inside WAMP, you will find www. Inside www only you are going to save your code. So just open this file, and here now just make your one folder, and you have, and just save all your file in that particular folder only. So just make a folder first. Okay, and here just write down PHP programs. This is what, this is where I'm going to save all my code. So here inside this, in PHP program, I'm going to save my code. So here I'm saving it a name. Let's take a hello world. Hello world is my name of PHP file, and extension will be what? Extension will be .php. Just press enter. Now how to run? Now see, here I'm right clicking, but I'm not getting the option like open in browser as we were getting in HTML file. Why? Because you cannot run it directly. You have to start your you have to start your server, and then only you will be able to run your code. Now how it is going to happen? See. See, here this is the icon of your, see in the taskbar, that W in that pink color, this is what the icon of your WAMP server. Okay, so just click on it. To start it, first you'll have to just click. Okay, here I'm clicking it. Okay, see, as you can see here. Okay, okay, let it start properly first. Okay, now as you can see here, can you see here your WAMP, it turned green in color. Okay, here as you can see in the taskbar at the right side, your WAMP turned green. As your this WAMP turned green, that means all the three things, your Apache server, your MySQL, your database, and your PHP is working properly. If it doesn't turn green, that means any of these three services are not running properly. Okay, when it will turn green, then only you will be able to run your code. Now what you have to do is here, just right click on this icon, just click here. Okay, not right, okay, just click on this, left click, and here as you can see this local host, here as you can see your local host option. Achha, one more thing, if you are as you click on that WAMP icon, that pink color, if it is not turning green now, then here as you can see start all services, then you can click on start all services. So if you have properly installed WAMP server in your system, as you will click on this start all services, all these three services, your Apache, MySQL, and PHP will start working, and your WAMP is going to be turned green color. Green means it is working properly, all the three services are active and it is working. So now just click on localhost. Click on localhost. Okay, here what you did, if we clicked on local, now localhost means what? Your local computer only, where you are running your code. So now what you have to do, you are going in this localhost, you have saved your particular file in that www folder of PHP programs, correct? So here you have to search for your folder, PHP program. This is the name of your folder, I guess. Yeah, PHP programs. So just enter. Okay. So here PHP programs. Now here as you can see, hello world.php. This is what our file which we have saved inside PHP programs. And as you can see, hello world.php. Now just click on this. in order to get the output. So just click on this hello world. And here is the output. The output is what? Hello world. So this is how you run. Click on localhost. Just in which folder you have saved your program, type that name of the folder. That folder is going to show you all the files which you have saved in it. Just click on that any of the file which you want to run. Just we run our hello world. Now, okay. Now you can also, in this PHP, you can also use HTML tags. Okay. Suppose you want to display this hello world in a larger heading. What you can do, you can also use your h1, h2 tag, bold tag, p tag. You can use any of the tag. So here I'm taking, let's take h2 tag here and then terminate your h2 tag and just refresh this. Now it is hello world. So this is how you run your PHP programs. Okay. And you can also change this color, as you can see here, the first PHP programming. Here it turned green, so it turned blue. What you can do, you have written this particular hello world in h2 tag. So using inline CSS or using internal CSS, you can style this h2. So if you'll make any changes in this h2 tag, that is going to affect your hello world text. Correct. Now I hope you all are very much familiar how to get a look to any text. Then next is PHP variables. How to declare variables in PHP? This is very much easy. So your PHP variables are basically used for what? Variables are used to store some value. Now in PHP, your variables are declared with the help of $sign. You are going to declare, always remember, if you don't use dollar in PHP, you won't be able to declare the variable, and also you won't be able to access any variable. Okay, $sign is mandatory before the variable name. So in PHP, we declare the variable with the help of $sign. Just write down dollar, and then afterward, just write down name of the variable. And using the assignment operator, you can also assign any value to it. And if you want to display the value of the variables, then again, you are going to use the echo statement in order to display. With the help of echo statement, you can display any message, any string value, or any integer type value, or any type of value you can display with the help of your echo statement. Okay, so now let's do that. In this, as you're going to declare, you are going to write the code for your PHP. So your PHP code will be written inside this script only, correct? Inside this PHP tag. Here I'm going to declare a variable. How you're going to declare a variable? So first you are going to use this $sign, and with dollar you have to give the variable name. So here consider name of my variable is what? It is num, $num is equal to assignment operator. Whatever value you want to assign to this num, you can assign. Okay, let's say here I have assigned 32. Okay, now suppose you want to display it. So what you're going to use? You are going to use echo. Inside echo, now there is two ways to display this variable name. First way is that inside echo, inside double quote only, you can write down $num, then too you will get value. And also if you don't use that double quotes, then too you are going to get that $num, the value of basically $num. So here I wrote $num. Just run this. Here, what I got 32. What is 32? 32 is the value of your num variable. Now the second way is, as it is a variable, so it is not mandatory to write down the variables inside double quote. It is not mandatory to write down these things inside double quote. Now see, again here I got 32. Now suppose you want your output like this. Value of num is 32. Value of num is 32. If you want your output in this way, again there is the two way. The first way is that inside double quote only write down value of num is. After is what you want 32. What is 32? The value of your num variable. So इसके बाद you have to write down the num variable. Now never forget to write $sign before the variable. So you just write down $num. So where you have written this $num, over there you will get the value of your num variable. So here value of num is it is just a string, so it is going to display as it is. And here as you have placed this dollar, it indicates that num is a variable, so the value of $num is going to display here. Then now save your code. Now see, the value of num is 32. This is what you're getting. Now the next way is that if you don't want to write this $num within the double quote, like here value of num is, it is a string message which you wrote inside double quote. Now as in the as just we displayed also the value of num without double quote. So if you want to use that way, so what you have to do, you can write like this $num. No, what you have to do is here you have written value of num is inside double quote. Then afterward you are adding that value of num is with $num. You are joining the two things. Value of num is with $num. Now in order to join this, in order to join something in PHP, we use dot. What we use dot. So here in between them you can use dot. Now your value of num is it is concatenating. It will joined with this $num. So from $num you will get 32. And here value of num is written inside double quote. So as it is, you will get value of num is, and then from $num, what you'll get, you will get 32. So see here, the same value of num is 32. So when you will, we use the array and all, at that time, we are going to use this dot, okay, in order to concatenate something. Okay, so this is how you can declare the value of variable with the help of your echo statements. Now moving ahead. Okay, the next is the PHP operators. Now basically operators are what? These are the special symbol which is used to perform some operation. Now here I have written few operators. First one is arithmetic operator. Your arithmetic operator, it is used to perform all the arithmetic operation, basically like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus, and these things. Next is your assignment operator. It is used to copy the value in a variable, or it is used to assign a value of a variable. Next is relational operator. It is also known as comparison operator. It is used to check the relationship between the two operands. Okay, the next is your logical operator. Logical operators are used to combine two or more relational expressions. Yeah, then your increment decrement operator, your increment decrement, plus plus is your increment operator, minus minus is your decrement operator. It is your increment operator is used to increase the value of operand, and decrement operator is used to decrease the value of the operand. Okay, now here, as I said in previous slide, that with the help of echo, you can display whatever you want. Now the question is how you can take input from user. Like if you want to take some input from user, then in that case, what you have to do, how you can take input from user? From HTML. How? From HTML, how user can give input in your HTML? You have to specify some text boxes. Correct? You have to specify some text boxes. In that text box, user can enter some value. And that value which is entered by user in the input box, that value you can use in PHP. So there is no specific function like a echo is used for printing purpose. So there is no function to take input from user. Then how to take input from user in this web development? With the help of HTML. Here in this body tag only, you can write down input type is equal to text. You can give it a name. Now when you will run this code, you will be able to enter some value. You will be able to enter some value into the text boxes. Now whatever you will enter, that is nothing but what? Input from the user. So in this way, we take input from user. That also we are going to see how you can use the value of the text boxes in PHP. Okay, but always remember, whether you are doing JavaScript or something, even in JavaScript, there is no function. So how you can take input in JavaScript? Same, using this using the input tag. And you can easily access the value of an input tag using that document.name of the form, name of the text box, and using the value property. Okay, so here is your operators. Now next is your PHP control statements. Okay, control statements, or you can say the conditional statement, which is used to change which is used to change the control, which is used to control the execution of your statement. Now there are few control statements. The first one is your if statement. The second one is your if else statement, and the third one is your else if ladder statement, and the next one is your switch statement. These four are nothing but what? Your control statements. So we are going to take a quick glance on this. Okay. So here, as you can see, we have already declared a variable $num is equal to 32. Now with the help of if, we are going to display whether this 32 it is a positive value or not. If it is a positive value, then I want a message to be displayed. So here what I can use if, correct, I can use if that control statement, or you can say conditional statement. So here just write down if your value is positive, then only you will get the output. If your value is negative, at that time you're not going to get the output in your simple if. This is simple if. Now write down the condition. What is the condition to check for the positive number? If any number is greater than 0, then that number will be what? Positive. So here just write down if $num is greater than 0. $num is what? Your variable in which 32 is stored. So if 32 is greater than 0, it means what? It means 32 is a positive number. So just write down. First you want to display 32. So just write down $num dot. After dot, from $num you'll get 32. After 32 you want 32 is a positive number. So just write down is a positive number. That's it. Now when your this echo statement is going to execute, this execution of your this echo statement is totally depend on this condition. If the condition which you have written inside if will be true, then only the echo is going to be executed, else it will get skipped. Okay, and you'll get no output. So now in this case, as we have stored 32, and the message is what? 32 is a positive number, which is a positive number. But if I change its value, like if I wrote here, consider minus 32. So minus 32 is greater than 0. No, it is not. So in this case, I won't get any output. So this if statement is basically used for true part. Okay, if your condition is true, then your if block is going to be executed. But for now, our condition is false because minus 32 is not greater than 0. And for false part, we haven't written anything. We have not written anything. So now we are going to use the next thing, that is if else. If part is for true and else is for the false part. Now as your condition is false, when your condition will become false? If your number is negative, at that time only your condition will become false. So here, if num greater than 0, then number is positive. Else, when your else part is going to execute, if your condition is false, then. So here just write down the same statement echo, and instead of positive number, what you have to write here? You just write negative number. That's it. And now if you run your code, so here minus 32 is a negative number. So this is how your if else and this thing works. Okay, now the next is your else if ladder. When to use this else if ladder? Basically, if for same problem, if you have multiple situations, and for every situation if you want different output, at that time we use this else if ladder. Okay, so here we are going to use the else if ladder. Here I'm taking one variable. Let's take age variable. Okay, in age I have stored 6. Now what I have to display, whatever age I have entered here, I should get message according to the age range. Means Means whether the age which you have entered, whether that age belongs to adult age or school age or baby age or old age. So accordingly, I'll be getting the output. So here, if the age is between, okay, let's take if your age is between 0 to 6, then what you have to display? It's a baby age. Okay, what you have to display? It's a baby age. And if your age is between 7 to, okay, let's take 7 to 17, then it means school age. 7 to 17, let's take your school age. If the age is between 80 to, okay, let's take 80 to 40, then here you can display adult age. And if your age is greater than 40, greater than 14, then you have to display what? Old age. Okay, so here also for old age also I'm giving one condition, like your age should be between 41 to 100. Okay, consider 41 to 100, this is what we are giving. So in this case, 41 to 100, this is what your old age. So based on this condition, we are going to use this, we are going to write that else if ladder. So first is if this age is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 6, means if your age is between 0 to 6, that means you are baby age, you are under baby age. Okay, so just given condition, if $age is greater than or equal to 0, means 0 से greater या फिर 0 and 6 के equal or less than 6 or less than and less than 6. So here, if $age is greater than or equal to 0 and $age is less than or equal to 6, that means you are under baby age. Okay, so you are under baby age. Else if, and the second condition is that age should be between 7 to 17. So just copy that only. And here age should be greater than or equal to 7 and less than or equal to 17. If this condition satisfies, that means you are under school age. Okay, done. The next condition is that, just copy that only and change the condition. Next condition is that if your age is between 80 to 40, it means you are adult. Correct. And then the last condition is if your age is between is 41 to 100, that means you are old age. If you enter beyond 100, like if you enter more than 100, then you can give any message like invalid age or something. But here we are just specifying the range from 0 to 100 only. So now in this case, if you run your code, now let's see what is the output. Here we have entered the, okay, see here the age is what? 6. So the message is what? The message is you are under baby age. Okay, let's give here 60. Age is equal to 60. Now in this case, you are old age. Okay, and if I enter here 14, that means you are under school age. Okay, and if you enter, okay, let's take a 35. 35, that means you are adult. That means you are adult. So this is how your else if ladder it works. Now moving ahead with our next thing, that is your switch case. Again, your switch works same like what your else if ladder, but in switch the syntax is different. In switch you'll see the multiple cases and each case is going to define a different block. And at a time you can execute only one block. So here I'm taking one variable. Okay, let's say, okay, yeah, let's say it is day. In this day, the correct value is 1 to 7. The correct value is what? 1 to 7. So yeah, this example we have also discussed in previous session also with the help of get day and date function. So now we are going to do that with the help of without using any function. In this day variable, what I'm going to enter? The weekday name, the weekday number. Now the weekday number is 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is what the correct day. If suppose the value of day is 1, that means today is Sunday. If it is 2, today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If someone enters here 9 in a week, only 7 days are there. So if someone enters 9, so you should get a message like invalid weekday number, like that. Okay, so let's begin with that. Let's say the value of the correct value of this day is what? Means the correct value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If someone enters beyond 7, that means invalid day. So now just write down switch. Inside switch, what are you going to pass? The value which you are going to compare. So which value you are going to compare this, the value of this day. So over there inside switch, just pass day. Now the correct value of this day will be what? Means the what is the correct value which one can enter between 1 to 7. Okay, so here you have to define total 7 cases. One for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So here first is case 1. Then here it will be case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, and case 7. And one more is what your default case. For example, if someone enters greater than 7, at that time, none of your cases are going to be executed. At that time, your default case will get executed. Now, if the value of day is 1, so your case 1 will get executed. So if the value of day is 1, that means what? That means today is Sunday. So inside echo, you can write like Sunday, like that, and every case should be terminated with break. Every case should have a break statement. Else what will happen? All the cases after case 1 will get executed until we get the break in any case. Okay, so here just use break. In default, what you can, when your default is going to execute, if a user enters invalid weekday number, then only. So just write down this is invalid weekday number. Okay, then 2 for Monday. Here it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and this is what? Saturday. Okay, just run this code. Okay, Tuesday is coming, means that what we have entered 3. Value of day is 3. That means our case 3 is going to execute. So that is why Tuesday. If I write here 5 means Thursday is going to come. Yeah. So here, what is coming? Here it is coming Thursday. So in this way, your switch statement, it basically works. Now moving ahead, next is our looping statement in PHP. When to use this looping statement? When you want to execute some statement more than one time, at that time we use this looping statement. Now there are basically 3 types of looping statement: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. There is one more loop that is known as for each loop. For each loop, that is basically used to display the array elements. That also we are going to discuss when we will start our concept of array. Okay, so for now we are only going to discuss about for loop, while, and do while. So this is the syntax of your for loop. First, you have to initialize the variable, then you have to put some condition, and then increment and decrement. Then, and whatever statement you want to execute, whatever statement you want to iterate, that you are going to put inside this for loop. Okay, so here we are going to write that. Okay, so just start your for. We are going to display the value from 1 to 10 with the help of this for loop. Okay, so this is what your for. Okay, you can also put this curly bracket. Now inside for, the first is what? Initialization. Means you have to declare one variable and also you have to assign some value to it. So here I'm taking $i, and I have assigned 1 to it. Put semicolon. Now give the condition. I want to execute 1 to 10, means my statement which I will write inside for will execute exactly 10 times. So the condition will be $i less than or equal to 10. And then in order to reach from 1 to 10, you have to increase the value of I by 1. Okay, and then here I plus plus, this is what you're going to write. Now from this I variable, you can easily get value from 1 to 10. And this is what you want. So what you can do, just here write down echo. And then from $I, you will get 1 to 10. So here just write down dollar. That's it. If you write dollar, what will happen? See here. See, a 1 to 10 is coming with no space, no line, nothing. So here you can use that HTML tags in order to get a new line. Or also, agar aapko space chahiye, then you can concatenate space here. How you can concatenate space? Along with this value of I, you want some space. So what you can do, just put dot for the concatenation and write like this. That's it. $I means value of I, and then here this space. With the help of this, what will happen? You can get a space like this. And if you want all the things to become on a new line, then in HTML, we have seen a tag called BR, which is used for a new line. So here you just have to write inside double quote all the tags. If you're using any tag for PHP, then that tag should be written inside double quote. Here. Now after every tag, after displaying every value, your BR tag is going to execute and BR is going to terminate your line, means break your line. So yeah, this is how you can display. Now the next is just like your for, next is your while loop. In while loop, what happens? You have to initialize the statement before the starting while. Inside while, you just have to write the condition, and inside the body of while, the statement which you want to execute, that you are going to write. So now if you want to execute the same statement, the same program with the help of while, so what you can do, see, in while, first you have to declare the variable. First you have to initialize the variable. So here I'm taking, let's take n variable, and I have initialized with it with 1. And now while I want to execute I want to iterate this loop total 10 times. So here my condition will be $n less than or equal to 10. Now inside while, I can display from that n variable. If I write $n plus plus, then from $n plus plus, I can easily get from n variable. Now I'll get 1 to 10, and that is that 1 to 10 I want to display. So here what I can write $n, and then here I'm bringing some space. Okay, here it is 1 to 10. If you change its value, okay, let's take here it is 11, and here I wrote 20. Now it will 11 to 20. If you also want to display, consider with the help of while loop, you want to display the multiplication table of some number which you are entering. So what you can do, consider in this dollar, consider you want the table of this 11. Okay, table of this 11. So here from 11 to 20, you are iterating. From n variable, you can get what from n variable. Okay, good. No. Here I'm taking, consider this num variable. In num variable, I have stored a value whose table I want. So here I have entered 11, means I want the table of 11. Okay. And now I have to declare the next variable, that is $n, and I have initialized it with 1, because as we know how we multiply the number, we multiply first with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, means in order to get the multiplication table, you required 1 to 10 value. Then from this n variable, you can easily get 1 to 10, and correct. And from this num variable, you can easily get 11 whose table you want. And now inside while, what you are going to do, you have to declare one variable. Okay, let's take here, I'm taking one variable m. In this, all the result is going to be stored. So from n, you are going to get 1 to 10, and you have to multiply this 1 to 10 value one by one with this num variable. So num into, from where you are going to get this 1 to 10, from n variable. So here just write down $n, and yeah, here also before num, dollar is mandatory. Okay, like this. And then with the help of echo, you just display the value of dollar. Here dollar, like this. And now your code will go in infinite loop, because you are not incrementing the value of n. So here, in order to reach from 1 to 10, you have to increase its value as well. So here, see the table of 11 here. If you change its value, okay, let's take here 4. Now what you'll get? You will get the table of 4 here, as you can see. This is how your while loop and this thing works. Now same like this, there is do while loop as well. Your while loop, it is known as what, it is also known as entry control loop. what it is known as entry control loop. Why it is known as entry control loop? Because in while loop, we check the condition first and then we execute the statement. So here in while, we are writing the condition first. So we will check the condition first and then our statement is going to execute. The next is what you do while loop. Do while loop is known as exit control loop. Why? Because in do while, our condition is checked at the end and a statement is executed first. So this is entry and exit control. Entry control your while loop, exit control your do while loop, because in do while condition is checked at the end. So that is why it is known as exit control loop. And in do while, if your condition is false in the first time only, then to your statement is going to execute at least once. Why? Because in do while we check the condition at the end, and before checking the condition we execute the statement. That is why. So here we are going to write the same code. What you have to do, all the statement will be written here. Do, and at the end, after do, you have to write your while and then the condition, that is $n less than or equal to 10, and you have to put semicolon. So this is how you do while work. First do all the statements. Now after executing the statements, your condition is going to be checked. So if in this case, if your condition is false, then to your statement is going to execute. Okay, so here, okay, let's change the number. Now the number is 2. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it works. And next is your for each loop. So that for each loop we'll discuss when we'll start array. Okay. Yeah, do while is done. Next is your PHP functions. So your PHP functions are basically what a block of code which you can use multiple times. And how to use a function? A function is used when we call any function, when we invoke any function. At that time, your function is called, your function is used. So in PHP, we use function keyword to define a function. Function keywords is used to define a function. Okay, function keyword, the name of the function. And if you want to pass any parameter to your function, you can pass. Then inside the body of function, whatever statement, whatever task you want your function to perform, you can write down those statements. And then at the end, if you want to return some value, you can return. Okay, so now we are going to do that. Here, with the help of the function keyword, we define a function. So here we are defining a function. Let's take add. The name of the function is what? Add. And whenever someone will call this add function, the task of this add function will be what? To display the addition of some number. Okay, so here I'm taking the add variable. Now let's set its function. In this, just declare all the variables. So here I'm taking first variable. Okay, let's take A. And here I have stored 10. And then $B, here I have stored 20. Now I want to add this A and B. And whatever will be result, whatever will be the result, whatever will be the addition, I want to store that addition into the C variable. So here I'm taking $C. And the statement will be $A plus $B. Correct? Now C is having the addition of A and B. Now with the help of echo statement, you can display like this. Addition is equal to dot, and then here $C. Now if you run this code, let's see, do you get any output? No, you are not getting any output, but you have written that echo statement. Yes, you have written, but inside the function, if you want your echo statement to execute, then you have to call the function. Now how you are going to call the function? This is very much easy. Just you have to write down the name of the function and put semicolon. That's it. So here inside PHP code only you will have to write. Okay, so here you just write name of the function, that is add, and put semicolon here. This is what you're calling. This is what your function calling. Here you're calling this add function. As this line will execute, what is going to happen? Your control is going to be sent to the definition of your add function. Okay, so this now let's see the output. Okay, save this code. Okay, here is what addition is equal to 30. Addition is 30. Correct. Now you can call this function more than one time, as many as time you want. So this is what your function with no parameter, no return. This function is not returning anything, and also it is not accepting any parameter. Now suppose you want to pass some parameter to this add function. So when we pass parameter, whenever you call a function, at that time you pass a parameter. Now while calling this function, here I am passing two parameters. Let's take 10 and 20, or okay, let's take here 5 and 6. This is what I'm passing. So to whom this 5 and 6 are going to be sent? To the called function. Now in order to store this 5 and 6 in this add function, you will have to declare two variables, one for 5 and one for 6. So here I'm taking two variables. Okay, let's take here it is num1 and here it is num2. Now this 5 will be stored in num1 and this 6 will be stored in num2. So now what you have to do? You are going to add the value of this num1 and num2 only. So in this C variable, what you are going to add? You are going to add num1 plus dollar num2 and then display it. Now what you see? Addition is equal to 11, because at the time of calling we have passed 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 got added, and here we are getting 11 as an output. Now you can also call this function more than one time. You can also call here and you can give some other value. Okay, let's give here 7 7 7 and 7. Now see, addition is equal to 11 and addition is equal to 14. Now here after 11, if you want a new line, so here after C, again put that concatenation and put br. Now if you'll run, you'll get all these statements on a new line. So this is how you call. Now the next is how you return something. Now suppose you don't want to display this particular value of C in the add function. You are going to return this C to whom? To the calling function. How you're going to do that? See, if you write here return C, dollar, return C, that's it. Means now your add function is returning $C, means the value of your addition of num1 and num2 basically. So to whom it is going to be sent? To the calling function. Okay, means to this line number 16 and 17. Yes. So if you run this code, now let's see, do you get any output? No, now you are not getting any output. Why? Because your add function is returning the addition, and both the add function are also storing it, but no one is displaying it on the screen. Add अगर आपके पास value आ रही है, then आपको उसे display भी करना पड़ेगा, then only you will be getting the output. So as your $C is getting returned to these functions, so now at the end your add 5 6 and add 7 7, this is going to hold the addition. So you have to display it. How? Just if you write like this, echo here. Let's see what happens here. Now see here, what is happening? First 11 and 14. Okay, just 1 second. Here you can put also the BR. Okay, 11 and 14. What happened here? See, your inside echo you have written add. Means you're calling this add function. 5 will be assigned to num1 and 6 will be assigned to num2. And num1 plus num2 means 11, and C is going to hold 11. Return C matlab return 11. To whom this 11 is going to return? To the calling function. Who has called this add function? This one. So this 11 will be returned to this calling function. And with the help of echo, your 11 got displayed, and with the help of BR, your line got break. And same here, add 7 comma 7. 14 will be displayed, and with the help of BR, you are going to get a new line. So this is how the actual thing works in function. Okay, now moving ahead. Yeah, this is how you pass the parameter, value, returning value. That is what we saw just. And now we are going to discuss about the scope of variable, that is local variables and global variables. Very important here. See, local variables, as the name suggests, whose scope is going to be local. Means that the scope is going to be fixed in some scope, in some block. So a variable which is declared within a function and has a local scope, and those variables are called as what? Local variable, which is declared inside a function. And local variables are accessible only in that function where it is being defined. You cannot use a local variable outside the function or in any function. For example, here as you can see, okay, let me just change this. Okay, here as you can see, in this add function, two variables are there, $a and $b. This is what there. Here I'm defining one more function. Okay, and now consider that the name of that function is what? Name of the function is square. And now what this square function is going to do? This square function is going to use this value of a variable, and it is going to find out the value of variable a. So if it uses, consider here I wrote $s, $a into $a, and then with the help of echo you are displaying the value of s. And then here also you are calling the square function. Now here as you can see, in add function you have declared three variable $a, $b, $c. In add function it is defined. That means your add function is these three variables are what? Your local variables, where it is defined inside this add function. So you can use all the three variables in add function only. You cannot use any of the variables in some other function because of its scope, because it is a local variable. So as you have used the square function, inside square function you have used the local variable a. So let's see what happens now. Okay, see what is coming? Undefined variable a on line number 18. Oh yeah, on line number 18, undefined variable a. This is what coming. Means on line number 18 we have not defined some variable and still we are using it. This is what this error indicates. So here, go on line number 18. Okay, this is what on line number 18. Here undefined variable a. For this a variable the error is coming. Why it is coming? Because in square you haven't declared this a variable. You have declared a in add function, and a is a local variable. So that is why it is getting error. Okay, so this is what your local variable. You cannot use local variable in any function or outside the function. Then like your local variable, the next is what? Your global variable. A variable which is declared outside the function has a global scope, and global variables are used with global keyword. Just remember this point. Global variables are always accessed with global keyword. Means, see, now suppose you want to use this a variable in add function also and in square function also. So what you can do here, you can define this a variable outside of all the function so that it will become global. Outside of all the function means here as where you have started your PHP tag, yes, or there only just declare your a variable. Now this a variable is not declared within any function. That means this a is what? It's a global variable, and now this a variable is accessible in all the functions. Yes, but how you can access? Okay, let's do now. If I'm running this code, again I'm getting that undefined variable a, undefined variable a, undefined variable a, line number 14, and on line number 18, on line number 14 and 19 I'm getting this. Okay, means on line number 19 I have used a, and on line number 14 I have used a. But now my a is a global variable, so I can use it. Yes, you can use it, but global variables are used with a global keyword. Now suppose in this add function you want to use this a variable which is global. So before using global variable, you have to write like this: dollar global which is a keyword, and the global variable which you want to access in this add. So which global variable you want to access? $a. So just write down global $a. So with the help of this line, now you are able to access the global variable a in this add function. Always remember this. And similarly, on line number in square function also, you are using this global variable. So here you have to put global $a in order to access the global variables. Now see here, addition is 30, and then here is 100 is coming. Why it is coming? Pata hai? Because square we are calculating the square of a, and value of a is 10. So that is why it is. So, okay, let me put some break here. It is break. There. Addition is 30 and this 100 is what? This is the square of a number. Yeah. So this is how you access the local and global variable. Now, let's discuss about the PHP. Sorry, the array. Array, it is used for what? Array, it is used to store multiple variables under a single name, under a multiple values under a single variable. So for that reason, we use the array. Now, in PHP, three types of arrays are there. First is your indexed array. Second is your associative array. Third one is your multi-dimensional array. Indexed array, as the name suggests, indexed means in order to access the array element, you are going to access the index number. Index number are what? The numeric value which starts from 0. Okay, so in indexed array, the element of the array are accessed with the help of index number. Next is your associative array. In associative array, each element is associated with a key. For example, in index array, each element is associated with an index number. Like a first element is having 0th index, second element is having first index. Same like in associative, there is no indexing concept. In associative array, each element will be having a unique key. And with the help of that key, you access the element of associative array. The next one is your multi-dimensional array, means array within an array is known as multi-dimensional. If you want to store your data in the form of matrix, in the form of row and column, at that time we use this multi-dimensional array. So here is the syntax of your indexed array. Just you have to write down variable is equal to array, variable is equal to array, and inside bracket the value which you want to store, that you are going to write. In associative array, variable is equal to array. As I said, in associative array, every element is going to be associated with a key value. So here in associative array, first you are going to write the name of key is equal to array and then value. Again, the next key and value, the next key and then third value. So in associative array, if you have 3 value, then 3 keys will be there. 4 values, then 4 keys will be there. Each key is associated with some value. So now we are going to discuss this very quickly. So now first we are going to define our indexed array. How you define the index array? Basically, see, first name of the variable. Okay, let's take here n is your variable, is equal to array. Now in this n variable, you can store as many as element you want. So here I am writing 12, 32, 44, 55, 66 like this. Now this is what my indexed array. Now here every element, how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. Now every element is associated with some index number. For example, this first value 12, index number of 12 will be 0. Index number of 32 will be 1. Index number of 44 will be 2, and so on. Now how you can display the element? With the help of echo only. Now all this 5 value is stored in this $n only, in this n variable. Now how you can differentiate this value? With the help of its index number. So what you have to write? Just write down $n. Suppose you want to display this 12. So 12 is the first value of your array. How you can access the first value? With the help of 0th index. So the index of first element is what? 0. So you just write down $n. Inside subscript, just write down 0 like this. Just run your code. Okay, and here you got 12, means 12 is what? Your first value. Now here same like this, you can display 32 as well. Now 32 is the second element and index of 32 is what? It is 1. So here just put 1, and in order to separate this, you can use this like this. Okay, let's display all the things. Here 1, and then index number 2, and here it is 3, and here it is 4. Now all the 5 elements are going to be displayed here: 12, 32, 44, 55, and 66. So in this way, you access what? The index elements. Okay, now you can display all the things with the help of loop as well. Here, as you can see, for 5 elements, you have written you have written 5 times echo statement. This is not required. What you can do, you can use any of the loop. You can use any of the loop, and with the help of that loop, you can display these things. Now, here I'm using the for loop to display this element. So for $I is equal to, index always starts from 0, so that is why I'm initializing I with 0. Now $I less than or equal to, what should I write? How many elements are there? 5 elements are there. So here, if I'm starting I with 0, so I'll have to terminate with 4. And then here $I plus plus. And now from the I variable, you are going to get the index number from 0 to 4. So here you just have to write $I $n inside subscript, from where you're going to get the index number, from I variable. So just write down $I, and here just do like this. And now also you will get all the elements properly. Now in this, there is a count function which returns the number of element present in your array. So here I'm displaying that count function is there. This count is written, this count returns how many element is present in your array. So name of the array is what? $n. So here I wrote $n. Just with the help of echo, just display what C is holding. See, here it is the first value before 12. What it is 5. So that 5 is indicating that total 5 elements are present in your array. So here, as you have written this constant value, so you need not to written the constant value, as count is already returning how many element is present. So here you can do like that. $I less than $C. $C में क्या है? जितने भी element present है उसका count है. So this is the best way to display the array elements. Okay, so this is what your indexed array. Now moving ahead on our next thing, that is one more thing in this. As here we have used this for loop. Now, as I told you that there is also a for each loop that we'll discuss in array. So now it's time to discuss the for each loop. Now, for each loop is the best loop if you want to display the array elements. With the help of for each loop, you can easily display the array elements. How? See, this is very much easy. You need not to write any count function or any condition or anything. Just write down for each, then for each, name of the array element in which your name of the array in which your elements are there. So name of the array is what? It is $n. Then write down as, and here you have to write one more variable. Here your for each, what it does, it assigns all the array elements one by one to the next array variable which you have written. So here $n is having all the value 12, 32, 44, 55, 66. So your $n is going to assign all the values. First $n will assign 12 to this t. Then it will assign 32. Then it will assign 44, then 55, then 66. So $t, it will be having all the array elements. So here inside this echo, you just have to write $t, because $t is having all the array elements. एंड ये $n जो है ये कब तक टी में वैल्यू असाइन करता है? जब तक एरे एलिमेंट प्रेजेंट है उतने टाइम तक. जैसे आपका एरे एलिमेंट फिनिश होगा, your for each loop is going to be terminated. So let's do that now. See here, no indexing, nothing is required, and here you are getting all your elements. So this is the best way. Just write down for each, name of the array element as, and next array element in which you want to store your array elements, and then display it. Okay, and now here index number and all, nothing is required. So this is when you will use associative array. At that time you have to use for each loop only. So here we go. Okay, now we are going to define our for that associative array, where every element will be associated with a value. Okay, so here we go. Let's take $n only. Array. Now your key is just a what, you can say it is just a name, or it is just a identification for some element. With the help of that key value, you can access a particular element. So here I'm writing name. Name is what? My key. Okay. And now you have to set value for this key name. Okay. How to set? Like this. And here you can set any value. Okay. Here I'm writing Sahyog. If you want to display, now see, Sahyog is a value and name is a key. If you want to display Sahyog, then with the help of name only you can display it. Okay, just like in index we use index number, in associative array we use key value, comma. Next here I'm writing, okay, let's give another value here. Okay, here I wrote Neha. Neha is what? It's a value, and key is what? Name. Then here I am writing role. Role is what? Key, and the value of key is what? Okay, let's say here 10. 10 is what? The value. And now let's say here course. The value, here it is course. Course is key, and the value for this course will be what? Okay, let's say here it is MC. So this is how your associative array it actually looks like. Every element, see here Neha, 10 and MCA, these are what these are the array elements, and every array element is associated with a key. So if you want to display 10, then you have to use role. If you want to display MCA, you have to use course. If you want to display Neha, you have to write name. Okay, so let's do now. Here echo name of the array is $n. And now here you have to write, okay, I want to display Neha. Neha is a value and its key is what? Key is name. So just write down, here it is name, dollar. Here it is Neha. Okay, if you change its key value, okay, now just write down here course. If you write down course here, now what you'll get? Okay, now you're getting MCA. Okay, if you write here role, then what you'll get? Okay, role. Okay, see here. Here I have written role in small and here I have written capital. So that is why it is getting error. So here make it small role. Okay, now see here I'm getting 10. Now if you want to display all the thing at once. So here dollar from role you are going to get 10. From name you are going to get Neha, and from course you are going to get this thing. Now see here 10 Neha MCA. You can use break and also you can use space in order to give a proper spacing in between them. Okay, this is how you display it. Achha, now the question is, if you have more than, if you have multiple elements, like if you had 10 elements, suppose, then you are going to use the echo statement only? No, you are not going to do that. Then how you are going to display these things with the help of loop? See, these elements are not, these elements don't have any index value. Okay, all these elements are associated with a key. And also this key, they don't have any specific range, so that we can put that particular range inside the for loop, just like your indexed array starts from 0. So that is why in for loop we have assigned $i is equal to 0. But in for each loop, you can put any key. So we cannot display the associative array with the help of for, with the help of while, with the help of do while. How you can display this associative array? With the help of for each loop. Because for each loop is the only loop which doesn't require any index number or anything to display array element. Correct? So now how you are going to use this? See, if you want to display all the thing with the help of loop, so you have to use for each loop. For each, in which array all the elements are present in $n. So just write down $n as. Now $n is having all these three values, the Neha, 10 and MCA. So here you just write down one more value. Okay, let's take here P. So now your $n, it is going to assign all the values one by one to whom? To this $P. Now this $P will be having Neha, 10 and MCA, and you can easily display it. So here just write down echo $P and put some space. And now run this code. See, Neha, 10, MCA is coming. So this is what your associative array is, where everything is associated with some with a key value. Now moving to the next is what your multi-dimensional array means. Array within an array. So means multi-dimensional. So here, suppose you want some output like this. You want to store some element here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, how many elements are there? Total 6 elements are here. How many rows are there? Total 2 rows are there. One first row, second row. And how many columns are there? One column, second column, and third column. Now, suppose you want to store the element in this way. Means multiple elements are there. So you are going to use the array concept. But here the data is in the form of matrix. So you are going to use the multi-dimensional array. How you do that? See, just write down array, put semicolon. This is what your main array. Now inside this array, you have to also write array. Then it will become multi-dimensional. How many rows are there? Total 2 rows are there. So within this main array, you have to write first array. This is indicating this is your first row. That what I wrote now here, this array is indicating your first row, comma. One more time, write down array. This is indicating your second row. Now within every row, how many elements are there? 3 elements are there. So within every array, you have to put the element. So here write down like this, and here again put some elements like this. That's it. Now every element, as it is a multi-dimensional array, so it will be having multiple indexes. Here your 11, it will be having index 0 0, means 0th row, 0th column. 12 will be having index 0 1, it will be having index 0 2. 14 is on second row, means first row, 0th column. First row, first column, first row, second column. This is how it works. So now if you want to display any array element, how you're going to do? See, $n, 2 subscript will be there. In first subscript, you are going to write down the index number of row. So here I wrote, consider 0. And here again I wrote 0. 0 0 means 0 0 pe kaun sa element hai? 11. So in this way, what I'm going to get? I'll get 11. Okay. If you change here, if you wrote 0 2, 0 2 means your third element. That is what? Your 33. So using now, again using for loop, you can display all these things. Using nested for, means for within for, you can display all these array elements. Okay, so this is your all array concept. So we have displayed all the things: associative array, multi-dimensional array, and now we are going to use PHP super global variables. Now you will see how to take input from the user. Okay. Now PHP super global. Super global means global means what? Which is accessible from everywhere. Yes. So super global means it is more accessible. So what is super global? See, some predefined variables in PHP are super global. Okay, some predefined means the variable which is already defined are known as super global variable, which means that they are always accessible regardless of scope. Means your super global variables are accessible within the file, within the function, within any function, and also you can use super global variables in some other file as well. If suppose you have declared a file, in that if you have declared one variable, if you want to access it in some other file, you can use that. How? With the help of super global variables. Okay, now there are 2 super global variables. One is your $_get. One is what your $_get, and other one is what your $_post. $get and $post. These are what your super global variables, and these variables are used to collect the data, collect the value, and also it is used to send the value from one file to another. Okay, now how to use this? See, what it has written, this is very much important. See, in $get is a PHP super global variable which is used to collect the form data after submitting an HTML form. Means as you submit your HTML form, what your $get is going to do, it is going to collect the data which you have filled, and it is going to send the data and and the HTML form with method get. As I told you, form is having an attribute, method, and action. So there is 2 methods, get method and post method. Get method works with $get, and next is what your post method, and that post method works with $post. Now what is the difference between $get and $post? Both are the super global variables only, but $get is not secure in data transferring, whereas your $post is secure. How? When you submit any data, with the help of $get, at that time, whatever you have entered in the form now, whatever you have entered, all the data is going to be displayed in the URL. Everything, whatever you have entered, even your password is going to be displayed in the browser, in the URL, sorry. And if you submit your data with the help of $post, at that time your data is going to be secured. Nothing is going to be visible in the URL. So whenever you are submitting any credentials, basically like your password and everything, at that time never use get method, because whatever you have entered, everything is going to be visible in the URL. So this is not much secure. What your $get. Okay, so now we are going to use how actually it works. Okay, so first you have to make two files. So here, this is what my first file. Here I'm going to design a login page or any page where I'll be entering some value, and whatever I have entered, those things are going to be displayed in some other file. Okay, so here I'll have to make only that this thing design. So here I'm changing its title. Okay, let's make it login page. So here just write down username, input type is equal to text, and also as all the input types are having a name. With the help of that name only, you can send the data into the database, and also you can pass the data with the help of name field. So you just write down name of this text box is what? User. So if you want to access the value of this text box, then with the help of name, username, you can access it. Okay, and then write down one more, that is what? Your password field. Okay, just write down input type is equal to password, and then here name of this field is what? Password. So if you want to access the password, you can use pswd, this name. And now input type is equal to submit, also give it a name. Okay, let's say, okay, इसका भी नाम आप submit ही रख सकते हो, or you can take any name, and also give it a value which is going to be displayed over the button. Click on login. That's it. Now, as is the input tag, so you have to place all the things inside form tag. Very important. Put it inside form tag. Now, use all the attributes here. Use all the attributes. First is action attribute. As you will submit your form, where you want all your data to be displayed, on which form. So you have to decide that. So we'll make a form. Okay, we'll make a data.php file we'll make. So whenever I'll submit my form, my control should go on that particular file. So data.php. I'll have to make this data.php. And then action, method. Like using which method you are passing your data, using get method or post. So first we will do with the help of get, and then same we'll do with the help of post. So get method. That's it. Now also make your data.php file. So here just control and save this, and write down its name as data.php. Now what you have to do, see here, with the help of this, as you click submit button, what is going to happen? Data.php file is going to open. Okay, and the method is what? Get. With the help of this method, whatever you will enter in this text area and this text area, all this value is going to be appear where? In the data.php file. How it will be possible? With the help of super global variable. Okay, with the help of super global $get and $post. So as you are using the method as you're using get method, so you have to use $get super global. So just go in data.php. Here you need not to write any HTML code. You can write down your standalone PHP file. So just open your PHP tag, close your PHP tag. Now what? Now what you want? You want to access the value of this text box. Okay. What is the name of this text box? Name of this text box is user. Okay. So whatever value you will get from the user field, you can store it somewhere like this. Here you are taking consider n variable. Okay. I'll take u variable. In u variable, you will store all the value. You will store the value of user field. Okay. Is equal to. Now you can directly, if you write like this, $u is equal to name. So will you be able to access? No. Here along with this name, you have to use super global variable, that is $get. So here you just have to write $get parenthesis, And this name will be inside double quote, or you can also write inside single quote like this. That's it. Now $get name. This name is what you know. Now this name is the name of this input field. Oh, sorry, name not. It is user. This is user. Now what is this user? User is the name of this input field. Now whatever you will enter in this input field will be going to stored in this u variable. Now using this u, you can display whatever you have entered. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run this code. Okay, here it is coming. Okay, here I am entering my name, and here's the password is Nipa123. This okay. Okay, 11223. This is what my password. As I'll click on login. Achha, can you see, just see in the URL? Can you see in the URL here? I have used get method. See here. This is what I have said now. If with the help of get method, if you will use anything, see, user is equal to my name is coming. This is what I have entered. And password is equal to whatever password I have entered, that is getting visible in the URL. This is happens when you use the $get. That is why I said now $get is not secure. And here as you can see, my name, that is what I have entered. It is displaying, and where the name of this file is what? Your data.php. Here it is getting displayed. Okay, let's give it some changes, make some changes in formatting. Here you can display your username is $URL, and similarly you can access password field also. Whatever you are entering now in the hello world.php, in this pswd field, you can also access that. So just write down, take one variable $p, use the get method, use the get super global variable. Name of the field is what? Password. Now the value of password is going to be stored in this p variable. So with the help of echo, display here, and password is stored in this p variable. So in this way you can access the value of input field, whatever you are entering. If you want to display its value, then in this way you can access. This is the way to take input from user and to display it. Whatever you are entering, if you want to access the value, then you can use $get as well as $post. So now we are accessing $u and $p both. So again I'm running. See, this is okay. See, this is what my hello world.php file. Here I'm entering Priya, and here I have entered Priya at the rate 4321. This is what I have entered. As I'll click login, see, username is Priya and password is Priya at the rate 4321. This is what I coming on this. On which page it is getting displayed? On this page, data.php. And as you can see in the browser, in the URL, everything is visible here. Here, as you can see, everything is visible. Your username, what you have entered, and your password, whatever you have entered, everything is visible. This is what happens in when you use $get or get method. Now we are going to use post method. So for post method, just change the method post. Instead of get, just write down post. And also in data.php, now you are going to use post method here. Okay, just you're going to use post method. Now if you run your code, just refresh it. Now whatever you'll enter, see here I'm entering Deepa, and here at the rate 1234. If I click login, okay, what is the error? Undefined index user. Just 1 second. Method is post. Okay, see, now I have entered. Now can you see anything in the URL? Can you see anything? Whatever I have entered, my password and everything, can you see? Now, no. Why? Because you have used post method. In post method, your data is going to be secured. Nothing is going to be visible directly in the URL, unlike your get. So now here, as you can see, this is what I have entered, my name, and this is what my password is 123EE. In this way, you can access whatever you are entering into the input field, and also you can display it in some other file. Okay, so this is what your PHP super global variables are. With the help of this, you can display the data of one file into another with the help of that $get and $post. Okay, so yeah, we are done with $get $post. Now moving ahead with the last topic, that is MySQL. Everyone know what exactly MySQL is. MySQL is what? It's your database software, correct? Which allows you to manage your database, which allows you to create database, create table, inserting the record, deleting the record. You can also update the record in MySQL software. Correct. So here MySQL is what? It's a most popular database management system software which is used for managing your database. Okay, and it is an open source database. Or open source means you can easily download it. But along with WAMP, as I told, when you have installed WAMP now, along with WAMP, your server, your database, everything comes. So you need not to install MySQL separately. Along with your MySQL package, everything comes. Okay, so MySQL provides a set of some basic, most essential operation that will help you to easily interact with the MySQL database. Okay, with the help of MySQL, you can perform some operations. You can say CRUD, that CRUD operation. C means create, R means read, U means update, D means delete. Means you can create database, you can create table, you can insert data, you can display data, you can read data, you can update your data, and also you can delete data if it is not required. So these are the operations which you can perform on MySQL database. Okay, so now just 1 second. Yeah, so now next, let's see the syntax, how to create a basically database. The syntax is create database and database name. This is the syntax: create database and the name of the database. For example, if you want to create a database named college, what you have to do, just write down create database, and name of the database is what? It is college. So just write down create database college, and your database is going to be created. Now what your database holds? Your database holds multiple tables. In a single database, you can store multiple tables. And what your table holds? Your table holds all the records. So when after creating the database, you have to create table. After creating the table, you have to insert the data into it. So these are the syntax. This is the syntax. This is how we create database, and the syntax to create table is create table, name of the table. Inside the bracket, you have to specify the attributes, the field name, which you want your table to be. Okay, so now we are directly going to see all these things practically. So how you access MySQL here. See. Okay. Can you see here this WAMP icon? As you will click on it, again you will get what? As you can see, one is your local host where you run your code, and another one is what? Your PHP MyAdmin. So what is this PHP MyAdmin? Your PHP MyAdmin, it is just a software application. Over there you can create your table database. Over there you can store what? All your records. Okay, so it provides what? It is just application which provides you the MySQL database. This PHP admin, what it is just you can say it is a GUI application which provides you MySQL database, and over there you can store all the records, table, and everything. So just click on this PHP MyAdmin. Here I have clicked on PHP MyAdmin, and see this page is coming. Okay, this page is coming. Now, in order to access the data, in order to get into the MySQL database, in order to connect with the database, you have to see the username is what? Root by default, and password is empty. So you need not to set any password here. Just click on go. See, just remember this username and password while connecting with database. We'll be requiring this username. So username is by default what? Root, and password is blank. Okay, now see, this is what your GUI. Okay, so now you can create your database and everything. So you can also create database without writing the query. You can manually create your database. How? See, here as you can see the database option here, database icon. Just click on this databases. Okay, and here as you can see in this text box, you have to write the name of the database which you want to create. So here I'm creating Sahyog. Sahyog is what? My name of the database, and just click on create here. Just click on create. See, database Sahyog has been created. Here, as you can see, here at left side, what is coming? Sahyog means your Sahyog database has been created. As you will create your database, as you can see now here, you're getting option create table. So now you have to write down name of the table which you want to create. So here, just write down one table name. Okay, let's take a login. Name of the table is login. And here number of columns. How many columns you want your table to insert? So here, just write down 2. Because I want 2 columns, so here I wrote 2. Just click on go. Here you have created a table. Now, here see, as you can see, 2 fields are coming. Why 2 fields are coming? Because you have mentioned two columns, that is why 2 field is coming. Now here you have to specify the name of the column. So here you can put my name of my first column is username, and name of my second column is what? It is password. And now here you have to specify its type. Now suppose username, here I'm setting its type as varchar, because anyone can enter username in character and integer combination of both. So that is why I'm writing varchar. And also password is also my varchar. Now my username and password both is of varchar type. And when you use varchar, you have to specify some length. Means how many character your username and password field can store. So here username varchar, here I'm writing 30. Means my username field can store 30 characters. And similarly for password, here I'm setting, okay, let's take again 30. Means my password field, again, it is going to hold up to 30 characters. And after doing that, just click on save. Just click on save. Processing request. And here your table has been created. Now, if you want to see where your table is created, see in this Sahyog, this is what is Sahyog database here. Just click on it. Here, as you can see, the login, this is what you have created. Now click on plus and you will see all the columns. Click on columns and here see password and username. This is what you have created. Now, if you want to insert some data into it, what you can do, just click on this here. Click on this SQL. Now we are going to do all the things with the help of query. What are you going to do? See, as you just see that we have created database manually without writing query. So you can also create database with writing query. How? Just you have to write down create database and name of the database. After writing this query, you can click on go to execute this. Okay, so we are going to do this, but now we are going to insert some data into the database. Means into the table login, I'm going to insert some data. Now, how you can insert some data into the table? उसके लिए query होती है. The query is insert into, in which table you want to store, in which table you want to put your record, in the login table. So just write down insert into login, and afterward all the values. Here values. Inside parenthesis, you are going to write down all the values which you are going to store. So in login table, there are total 2 columns. One is your username and one is your password. Username and password both is of string type, varchar type. So here you have to insert 2 values, one for user. Okay, so here let's say I'm writing Sahyog is my username, and then next value will be password. So here I am writing Sahyog @1234. This is what my password. Done. Now, as you will click, just select this whole thing and click on go in order to execute this query. Here I have clicked on go. See what is coming? One row inserted means one row has been inserted into the table. Now, if you want to see what exactly you have entered, now in order to display the record from the table, we use select query. So just write down here. So you can just write down select. Here, what you have to write? Select query, write down select. As you want to see all the columns, username and password, so just write down star. Select star from where? From the login. So select star from the table login. Now again click on go. Okay, here as you can see, Sahyog is coming and Sahyog @123 is coming here. Sahyog and Sahyog 123 is coming, means you have properly entered your data. Now, okay, let me remove, let me insert some more data. Just here I'm insert into login values. Here I'm writing Nana, and consider password is 123. Okay, just save it. Okay, one row inserted. Again, if you want to see whatever what is entered, so select start from name of the table, click on go, and here, as you can see, now two records are coming, Sayog 123 and Nana 123. This is what your username and password. Now next is if you want to update the record, means now suppose you want to change the password of Nana, means you want to change the password field whose name is Nana, you want to update its password field. So what you can do here you can just write update which table, login table. What you want to set, you want to set password field, so just write down set password is equal to, what is the new value, you want to write down Nana 123. This is the password, where username is Nana, means jiska naam Nana hai, you want to set that password as that excuse me. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, see. Achha, one more thing. See, here some syntax is there. Syntax mistake is coming. As you can see here, select star, select insert update. If you click on any of this button, now you are going to get all the details. Okay, you are going to get all the details. Okay, so you see, update login, set username. Okay, here I don't want to set username. I want to set the password. So here I am writing set password is equal to, what I want to set password as Nana@123. This is what I want to set. And then where username is what? Nana. Why it is coming? The password field is proper, username field is proper, set password is, okay, let's execute it, what happens here. Okay, yeah, it was correct. One row affected. Now if you want to see, select one row affected. So now just see what you have entered. Select star from login. Just select it and click on go. Now see, the password of Nana will be changed. Now see here, the password of Nana is what? It is Nana123. Okay, in this way you can access your database. Now we are going to do a very quick database connectivity here. See, now as you can see here, two fields are there. One is your text field and another one is your password field. Now whatever you will enter into the text field and password field, all the data should be stored into the database, into your login database. So here I am removing this action tag, action attribute. Whatever you will enter into the text field and password field, all the things is going to be stored into your database login. So for that, you have to write the PHP code. So just write on PHP. And now here you have to start writing your database connectivity code. So first you have to set the server name. So here I'm taking one variable, let's take server. So by default, your server is what? Localhost. This is the by default name of your server, localhost. Then the username. When I've clicked on PHP admin, see the login page which was coming, where I told the username is by default root and password was empty. So here, as you are going to connect with MySQL database, so you have you require the username and password. in order to go into the MySQL database. So here username was what by default? It was root, and password was what? Password was empty. Okay, and again, with which database you want to connect? With which database we have created? We have created Sahyog database, correct? So here database is equal to what? It is Sahyog. So this is required. Okay, server name, username, password, and database name is what? Sahyog. Now you have to, now what you have to do, you have to connect your page with the database. So there is a function called, the function is what? MySQL connect. See, this is the function MySQL connect. Here they see MySQL is database, and I stands for improved, means this is the improved version of MySQL. Okay, so now here you have to pass all the 4 values here in it. MySQL connect, it is going to connect your page with the database. So here first you have to pass the server name, which is in server variable. Then you have to pass what? The username here, $user, okay, $user, and then you have to pass the password, and then you have to pass the database with which you want to connect. So here database is in database variable. That's it. Now this MySQL connect, it is going to return either true or false. If you are successfully connected with the Sahyog database, then it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. So here I'm taking one variable, let's take con, connection variable. You can take any variable. Now this MySQL is connect is going to return true or false. If it returns true, that means you are connected with the database. If it returns false, that means you are not connected with the database. So here, if $con is equal to true, because in $con only this true and false is going to be stored. So just display you are connected with the database. Like this, you are connected with the database. Now if you are successfully connected with the database, then what you have to do, you have to pass the value of this user and value of this password field into the database. Now how you can pass the value? Using the query. So now if you are connected, okay, put curly brackets here as you have more than one statement. Now write down all the statements into here. Now you have to write one query. What will the query? Just take one query variable here. You can take any variable. I'm taking one query variable. In this variable, you have to write down the query to insert data into the database. So now the query will be inside double quote. Insert into, in which table you want to insert? In login table. So just write down insert into login. What are the values? Values will be inside this. Now what you want to insert? The value of this text field and value of this password field. Now how you can access the value of this text field and value of this password field? With the help of $get and $post method. So now here I'm going to use $post method, and I'll access the value of this user and password. How you can access it? As you have written here now, with the help of this only. Here you can write like this. See here. $u is equal to $post inside double quote user. What is user? The value of this text box. So whatever you will enter into this text box, that value is going to be stored in this u variable. And $post password, whatever you will enter into this second password field, all the things are going to be stored in this $p variable. And this is what you want to enter. Value of $v in this $u, in this $u. What is there? Username. In this $p, what is there? Password. So inside these values, just write down $u means username, and username is done, and here is your password. Here is what your password is done. $u and $p. Okay, now what you have to do? Now in order to execute this query, there is a function called MySQL query. MySQL query. You have to execute this query with the help of MySQL. Now your MySQL, it accepts 2 parameters. One is your connection, where you have passed your server name, username, password, and these things. And next one is what? Your query, which you want to execute. So this MySQLi, it is going to accept two parameters. The first one is what? Your $con, because in $con variable, all the server name, database, and everything is there. And second one is the query, which you want to execute. So in which variable your query is stored? In this $query variable. So just write down $query. And if, as you see, as you are inserting some data into the database, so if your data is successfully inserted into the database, then this MySQLi, it is going to return true. Okay, when it is going to return true if your data is successfully stored into the database. So you just take one variable. Okay, let's take R. If MySQLi returns R, then R is going to hold true. R is true means your database data is stored successfully. So just write down if $R is equal to true, means just give an echo data stored successfully. Data stored successfully. And if it is false, then you can write down in else that data not stored successfully. That data is not stored. And for the first if con is true, means you are connected. And after that if, you can write down echo database is not connected. Like this. Okay, so this is how it actually works. So now let's go ahead. Yeah, this is what our okay. What is the error? The error is undefined index user and this thing. Achha, before that we have to set something here. Yeah, some code. Something is still remaining. Now see, here as you can see, when these things should, when your data should get stored into the database, as you will click on this submit button, then only your data should get stored into the database. So now how you will come to know whether you have clicked on this submit button or not? So now there is a function called isSet, ISSET. With the help of that function, you can easily come to know whether you have clicked on submit button or not. Okay, so you can write like this: if is set, with the help of $post only, you are going to access that button. If is set, inside this, what is the name of this submit button? Name of this submit button is submit only. So just write down submit. If is set submit, means if your submit button is clicked, then only all these things should get executed. So here you can write like this: if you click on this submit button, then only your database should get connected and your data should be stored into the database. Now let's run this. Now here, now just remember what we are in. Here I'm Neha is the username. Neha1234. Neha1234 is what? It is the password. Just click on login. See what is the message? You are connected with the database and data stored successfully. Means Neha and Neha1234 is stored into the database. Now let's check whether it is stored into the database or not. How you can check? Just go in this SQL and write down the query, select star from login, because we have stored in the login database only. So here select star from login, click on go. And here you go. Neha123 means we are successfully connected with our database and our data is successfully getting stored into the database. So in this way, you can do all these things. Okay, now we are going to do just one more thing here. Like if you want to display all the data of the database, so we are going to do that very quickly. So here, I'm just writing one more: input type is equal to text. Okay, input type is equal to submit, sorry. And name is equal to what? Name is equal to get data. Okay, suppose that this is what you get data. Okay, no. Name is, okay, let's change this name. Name is what? Your submit one. Name of this button is submit one. And value is what? Value is get data. So when you will click on this get data function, what should happen? Whatever data you have stored into the database, all the data should come on your screen. So here, close your font type here. So see, this whole thing was for what? To store data into the database. Now we are going to display all the data into the database. So here we are going to write Again, if you'll click on this submit one button, so you have to, as you are going to access data from the database, then you have to do all the things here. Like you have to connect your database, and then you have to write one query, and with the help of that query only you can display all the data. So here, just remember this name, submit one. So here I'm writing, see the whole thing is going to be same, huh? From here, like this. If submit one means if you will click submit one, then what should happen? You are going to connect with the database. Now check if you are successfully connected with the database. So here, just copy that much part. If connection is true, that means you are connected with the database, and here you have to write the different query. Now you want to display all the data from the database. So in order to get all the data from the database, which query will be used? Select query. Select query, correct? So here what you're going to write, select, you want to display all the data, so just write down select star from where? From the login table. Name of the table is what? It is login. And now in order to execute this query, which function will be used? MySQLi query function. You have to pass two parameters. The first one is what? Your connection, and the second one is what? Your query. Now the return type of this MySQL query, see, when you send some data, always remember, when you send some data into the database, at that time this MySQLi query, it returns true or false. Okay, and when you get the data from the database, at that time this SQL query, it returns an object. In that object all the values are stored which you have got from the database. Always remember, MySQL, it returns true and false when you store some data into the database. But when you get some database, when you get some data from the database, at that time this MySQL query is going to return an object, and that object will be having all the records. Okay, so here again I'm taking one variable. Okay, let's check here, it is REC, means record. Okay, so now here, first here check. Now see, this MySQL query, as we are, the query is what? The query is select star from login, means we are going to get the data from the database. So this MySQL query, it is going to return what? An object. In that object all the data will be there. Now we have to store, now we have to display all the data. But before displaying all the data, we have to check whether your data, whether in your table data is there or not. If some data is there, then only you can display. But if no data is present into the table, then you can display that no data is present. So how you can check? Now see, with the help, whatever this MySQL query, this MySQL query is going to return this time an object. Okay, and that result will be in this REC variable. Okay, so now there is a function called MySQLi numRows. MySQLi numRows. What it is going to do, you know, MySQLi numRows, it is going to return the number of rows, means it is going to return you the number of record present into the database. How it can come to know, like how many data is present to know? See, this MySQL query function, when it executed the query, it is going to return an object, and with the help of that object, this MySQL query can come to know how many data is there. So MySQL query is going to store the result in this REC variable. So in MySQL numRows, you have to write this. You have to pass this REC. Now, MySQL numRow, it is going to return you what? Number of row. So if the number of row is greater than 0, if the number of row is greater than 0, that means you have some record into the database. Okay, and all the means you have some record into the database. Now you have to display it. So if you have more than one data into the database, now see, each data will be in a field, like in a username field, username will be there. In password field, your password is going to be there. So here, with the help of loop, you are going to display all the data. First, you have to check whether you have more than one record or not. More than zero record means you have some record here. If you have more than zero record, then with the help of while loop, you are going to display all the data. Now in while loop, what are you going to do? You have to use one function, fetch assoc. This a double soc here, this is what your associative, remember your associative array, key and value, in the form of key and value. So here you have to write fetch assoc and then name of the variable which is returned by your MySQL. So now here you have to write on here one variable. Okay, I'll explain this, just 1 second. Now, what I did here, while $m is equal to fetch this function, this is what your this a double SOC means your associative. What it is going to do, this function is going to store all your record in an associative array. Associative array means what? Every element will be having a key, and with the help of that key only you can access the element. Okay, so here this username is nothing but what? The key. How you get the keys? As you have to see in the table, this username and password, this is not nothing but what your key, and with the help of this key only you are going to access its data. So now let's see whether it works or not. Syntax error. Okay, line number 71, unexpected end file. Okay, means we have missed something. Here we have while close. This if is not closed. Okay, main if. Okay, now see, I'm directly clicking on get data. So as I click on get data, see something error, uncalled to undefined function fetch. Okay, 1 second. Means name of the function. Okay. Name of the function was MySQLi. Yeah, MySQLi it was. Here it is. MySQLi. Yeah, not just fine. Now just click on get data. Now see. Okay. Here as you can see, okay. I'm getting all the username. Just let me do formatting here. Before that, after this, I'm putting this BR. See, here I have written $m username. So all the values of this username means this thing, Sahyog, Naina, and Neha is going to come. If you want to also display this Sahyog @123, Neha @123, Neha 1234. So all these three value is associated with password field. So here also you will have to write. After that, if you want to display password also, so here you can write password like this, and now run your code. Okay, now if I click on get data, here you go. See, first Sahyog 123 is my password. Naina 123, Neha 123. If you want all the username and password to come on a new line, what you can do, you can put this. You can write down this after username only. Just write down it here. That's it. And after that, you have to give some space and then do like this. And then here again, you have to concatenate it. Now see, now as I click on the get data, what is coming? Sahyog @123, Naina @123, and Neha @123. So in this way, you can get the data from the database, and you can also store the data into the database. Just you have to use some functions, and those functions which we have used here, as you can see. First, MySQLi connect. You have to connect with the database, and then MySQLi query. In order to execute the query, you are going to use MySQLi query. Then MySQLi num rows means how if you are getting some data, then this MySQLi num rows is going to give you the number of records written by it. And then MySQLi fetch assoc. This is going to store all the data in an associative array. Then how you can access those data? With the help of with the help of the key value. Okay, so yeah, this is all about your